Here we are in Ealing, and the stage behind me enables us to go below stairs at Highclere. And it's actually the engine room. It's the place where everything happens, and the pace of activity there juxtaposes against the utter calm of life intended for the Granthams and the Crawley family upstairs. So shall we go inside and have a look at the layout of how they've created a structure which is the entirety, pretty much, of what life must have been like for those working for Lord and Lady Grantham. In here, you've got the servants' hall. Now, in the servants' hall, this is where they lived their lives, they ate, they met to discuss what had been going on, and they loved the gossip from upstairs. And they lived for it because that was the centre of their lives. They existed to look after the family, so everything that affected the family was the core of their lives. Carson the butler sat here like a sort of emperor. And the system of status in here really mattered. Who was on his right, who was on his left, the position that they held in the house. And if you started your life here at the far end, you aspired ultimately to make it up to this end. All the bells, you knew exactly which of these rooms was ringing. If it rang up, you pulled a sort of lever up in the bedroom, this would shake and the little thing would carry on swinging. So if you were in another part of this area, you could come and find out, saloon, right, I must go up. If you had managed to get a job here, your life was safe. You'd always have a job, so you thought, if you were loyal, and one day maybe you'd make it all the way up to being the very man himself. Shall we go and have a look at his office? Now he's down here, not far away, but along the corridor. All the time we have to create activity during the film in order to give a sense of the absolute engine room that went on here. This is Carson's hub. This is the butler's pantry. This is where his desk is, this is where discipline takes place, and also where he rules the roost. He may not be his lordship, but as far as the staff is concerned, his lordship is a god, whereas the man they need to look out for is the butler. Let's go and have a look at the kitchen. In the kitchen itself, an absolute hive of activity. The range itself, very much state of the art for the time. 2 of the hot plates do actually heat up. It's all fake otherwise. What you've got here is the typical stuff that would have been used in order to run this massive house. There wasn't just feeding the family upstairs with all the beautiful stuff, but you had to look after the servants as well. All the props here, part of the time, including coming around here, the knife cleaners here, which you turned this round and the knives themselves were cleaned and polished in the chalk that was revolving around inside. Now, where did they sleep? Oddly, it's on the same level, and the reason is, here at Ealing, that's the best way to build it. Individual members of staff have their own bedrooms. I want to show you what I think is even more interesting, which is this door here, which is now clouded up, which was the barrier between the men and the women. Now, naturally, human nature being what it is, one wants to get over to the other side, but they're not allowed to do that. And in fact, on this side here, we've got the key, which is kept, and only Mrs. Hughes, the housekeeper, can unlock this door and go through. So the women at this side kept safe, their virtue is intact, and the men are that side. But watch the series and you'll see how somebody breaks that rule.
Only Mrs. Hughes is allowed to turn it.
Mrs. Hughes? And you?
We've got the staircase down from where everybody lives upstairs, and it's down these stairs that the staff come. They then have to check themselves, just make sure that whenever they are in front of this mirror, they can make sure that they've got themselves looking tidy and perfect. And when they brush themselves down, they're then ready to go back upstairs and go straight up the stairs. And what they've done with this is they've designed it exactly to fit the stairs up at Highclere Castle. And in fact, literally every item of it looks exactly the same, so that the cuts work into this world which is designed to be perfect.